we must be clear that we will not surrender America, and we will not turn the United States over to the invaders from south of the border. Not in 2 weeks, not in 2 months, not in 2 years. Never!
There's a debate today about who is an American and who should get to live in the United States. It's playing out in the media, in Congress, and in the streets. Some people say that immigrants today are different because they don't learn English or because they don't look like Americans. This isn't a new conversation for Americans. We've been talking and fighting about who is a real American for hundreds of years. Way back when Pennsylvania was a colony, Ben Franklin warned that German immigrants will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion. Even as the United States became a nation, questions about who could be a citizen divided us. The dividing lines of who was considered a citizen were clearly based on race. In the 1850s, the Chicago Post printed, "Scratch a convict or a pauper and the chances are that you tickle the skin of an Irish Catholic. Putting them on a boat and sending them home would end crime in this country." Some of these unanswered questions led us to civil war. After the war, Congress passed the 14th Amendment to answer the question of whether former slaves could be citizens. It says that all persons, born or naturalized in the United States, are citizens of the United States. But the debate about who is really American and who should stay or get kicked out continued. The content of these attacks on immigrants and African Americans have not changed much. In 1892, debating deportation of Chinese immigrants, Senator Morgan of Alabama said, "As a Southern man, I could see why they did not want these Chinese. We have had troubles with a foreign race in my own state, God knows." In the 1920s, the Ku Klux Klan ideals declared, "We would not rob the colored population of their rights, but we demand that they respect the rights of the white race in whose country they are permitted to reside. They must be reminded that this is a white man's country." In 1924, the Senate Committee on Immigration heard testimony that the law preventing Asian immigrants from becoming naturalized citizens was justified because they could not assimilate with the white race. Senators were told that Japanese immigrants, if allowed, would come to colonize the U.S., steal our lands, and found large families. And the attacks continue today.
The idea that we are a separate and unique people among all the peoples of the earth, that we are united by history and heroes and holidays and language and literature and culture, and all these things together make us a different and unique people among the peoples of the earth. And this is what is threatened with a mass invasion, frankly, of strangers in our country.
I would like to have the opportunity to state at the microphone why I don't think we need 5,000 more illiterate peasants in Colorado.
Representative Bruce.
A National Alliance flyer in 2008 announces, "The Mexican problem can destroy America within our lifetime, and everyone knows this. Most whites see the blacks as undesirable and dangerous, but the blacks aren't going to become a majority."
Now, you may live in a community that's little affected by immigration, but believe me, if this growth happens, there isn't a community in America that is assured of escaping the ravages that's now hitting California.
So what's the answer? Who are we? Are we still afraid of people who look different, speak different languages, and come from somewhere else? Or are we stronger because of all the people and cultures we've brought together?